Growers are looking to match what they apply to their crops to what the actual demand is from those crops, right? And that's something that ET can tell you, is how much water are the crops actually using week to week, right? And so there's some irrigation scheduling applications for this data as well. There's also kind of advanced planning and looking ahead, right? So if we're thinking about setting conservation targets for water use, for example, we know what we're dealing with. We know drought and scarcity are becoming more frequent. If you think about the Colorado Basin, for example, there are well quantified data sets on, how much less water is going to be available for agriculture and other purposes in that basin. So then you set targets, but how do you know sort of how different approaches to conservation are likely to work? Well, if you have a data set that can look at what happens after certain approaches are implemented in terms of the actual water savings that are accomplished, that's really helpful, right? And then you can sort of insert that into planning tools to forecast out, okay, if I try approach X, this is the water savings that I'm likely to achieve. And then you can also look back and say, did it happen, right? So for sort of that basin scale or district scale planning around water conservation and learning about the approaches that work for the least cost, right? Those are all really important questions for society to be able to adapt to this sort of changing reality of water availability. And OpenET is absolutely essential for that type of planning and implementation of those kinds of programs.